A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic escalation of tensions between Harvard University and the Trump administration, the U.S. Department of Education announced on Monday that it is freezing approximately $2.3 billion in federal funding to the prestigious Ivy League institution. This decision follows Harvard's refusal to comply with a series of demands from the White House aimed at combating anti-Semitism and addressing alleged civil rights violations on campus. The Education Department's Task Force on Combating Anti-Semitism stated that the funding freeze includes $2.2 billion in grants and $60 million in multi-year contracts, signaling a significant financial blow to the university. The conflict began when the Trump administration issued a letter to Harvard last week, outlining a list of demands that included sweeping reforms in governance, hiring practices, and admissions procedures. Among the controversial demands were calls to dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, which the administration argues perpetuate racial stereotypes. Harvard's president, Alan Garber, responded firmly, asserting that the university would not comply with what he described as overreaching government demands. In a letter to the Harvard community, Garber emphasized that the university's independence and constitutional rights are non-negotiable. He stated, "No government, regardless of which party is in power, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, in which areas of study and inquiry they can pursue." The administration's demands have drawn sharp criticism from alumni and faculty, who argue that they threaten academic freedom and self-governance. A group of alumni has urged university leaders to legally contest the government's demands, framing them as a political maneuver rather than a genuine effort to address anti-Semitism. And Yurima Bargava, one of the alumni behind the letter, praised Harvard for standing up against what she termed bullying and authoritarian whims. The situation has sparked protests within the Harvard community and prompted a lawsuit from the American Association of University Professors, which argues that the Trump administration has failed to follow proper procedures under Title VI before initiating funding cuts. The lawsuit contends that the administration's demands are not legitimate remedies for any alleged violations of federal law, but rather an attempt to impose political views on the university. As the standoff continues, the Trump administration has reiterated its stance, stating that elite universities must take the issue of anti-Semitism seriously if they wish to continue receiving taxpayer support. The Education Department's statement highlighted the unacceptable level of harassment faced by Jewish students on campuses across the nation. This funding freeze marks a significant moment in the ongoing battle between the Trump administration and higher education institutions, as Harvard becomes the first major university to openly defy the administration's demands. The implications of this conflict extend beyond Harvard, as it raises critical questions about the relationship between federal funding and institutional autonomy in higher education. With the stakes high, both sides appear entrenched in their positions, leaving the future of federal funding for Harvard hanging in the balance. As the situation develops, it will be crucial to monitor the responses from both the university and the administration, as well as the potential impact on students and faculty caught in the crossfire. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.